The one other thing we do want to talk about here is the Hockey Canada inquiry around the 2018 sexual assault allegations. Not an easy topic, but they were if they faced the federal. They had the federal government inquiry yesterday. It's still going to be continuing, but Tom Rennie, who's outgoing president of Hockey Canada, Scott Smith, incoming president, um, faced questions, and it looked really bad. Like it just was a gong show. There's no other way to put this but a gong show. Uh, the no, there's a dispute of how many players actually have testified or were called into the investigation, but what we do know is not everyone compiled or would. And then they were asked questions about how you do how if that's going to be a requirement going forward. Um, it's it just was this was poorly handled. That's the first thing. When all four parties are in agreement with how you mishandled this situation, with parties with such a diversity that these have for the most part, including the chairman, Heidi Fry, says, I'm really surprised that you came unprepared with some of the questions that we were about to ask you. That should be a red flag for everyone affiliated with Hockey Canada, and this should be a concern. And this was not a good look for Hockey Canada. They've got a lot of things to be thinking about, and this is not going to go away. It's in kudos to the people other than the Rick Westheads and the Katie Strings that were covering this. Ian McIntyre was covering this. Others were covering this as well. Ken Campbell, formerly of the Hockey News, he's gone rogue. I mean, he's gone Substack, and he's not holding anything back. But this was not a good look for Hockey Canada. This is something I think you do need to pay attention and you have to watch. And again, to go back to what we were talking about hockey is for everyone. When you see this from Hockey Canada and you've got a kid coming up through the ranks, you have some serious questions to be asking.
I am a firm believer that hockey and sport brings more good than bad. But when you have this, it's hard to have that argument, especially when there's the way they handled it not right. And then there needs to be drastic changes into how we handle this. Yep. I love this sport. I love the joy it brings to people. But we need to take a hard look at how we're handling these things. And it's in all society, unfortunately. But we look at how we can handle things in hockey, we need to be better.
Mm-hmm. And I realize it's not an apples to apples comparison, but after what we saw, what went down with the Chicago Blackhawks situation, Hockey Canada should have been better prepared for something like this.
Well, unfortunately, I believe this happened before this happened before all that came out.
Sure. But
they should have been better prepared. If they knew
that this lawsuit was coming, they should have been better prepared for the questions and the testimony and all of that.
But even then, the fact that they didn't, the big thing for me is that they didn't make it mandatory for all the players on that team to take part in that investigation. Even if you weren't even at that golf tournament. You should have been it should have been mandatory to take part in that investigation. We don't want this in our sport, our culture, our society at all. We need to be better.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they just went and settled without doing it their own thoroughness on this, it just is a bad look. Not a good look for Hockey Canada. And I'm with you. I love Hockey Canada. I love hockey. We see good things, but this is stuff it just makes it hard to be a fan for many people.
It's an embarrassment and a black mark on their history for sure.
Yes.
Yep.
We need to be better. We need to, and as fans, we need to demand better. And what I don't know what that looks like, but there are people. I feel like you have to go from grassroots up with this. You have to demand better from your minor hockey associations. You need to demand better from your local hockey association. You need to demand better from your provincial hockey association, your state hockey association, and you need to demand better from your national hockey association. So wherever you are in that step, you need to demand better.
Yep.
Because hockey is for everyone, and we now need to show it. It doesn't matter. And it's the same thing as, and it's not even just hockey. Sport is it for everyone. Life is for everyone. We need to demand better. And kids make mistakes, but they need to be held accountable for them. The other big thing that is like, they don't know who did it. Unfortunately, they can't. But we maybe it's too far gone or whatever. But we need to demand better, and everyone who could have potentially been involved needs to answer. And they know what they did. The players that were involved know what they did, and they need. If one of them stepped forward and said, I was part of this, I made a mistake, and pulled themselves out and said, I need to be better, it would be huge. It would be huge because it shows growth, and it shows that even though you make mistakes, you learn from them.
And it shows that the bro code isn't as this impenetrable force that apparently in the hockey culture it is.
No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. We need to learn from them. And these are bad mistakes, and we definitely need to learn from them. So this is my plea to everyone. Please demand better from your sporting association, whether it's hockey or anything like that. Demand better and be better.